bored by everyday monotony. Changes in routine were things to be savored and prolonged. One zoo led the way. Howlett's Wild Animal Park in England has enclosures that mimic aspects of the gorilla's natural environment.
It's an airy feeling to have that door closed behind you. That's why the animal will be on a part of the song. It will be the song.
You know, for all our grand developments and sophistication in the world, you know, we really still stumble with all kinds of basic things. The truck with the sculpture is not supposed to be there till 9:30 maybe.
What time do you have to go sign for the forklift?
8. So I have an hour and a half over there to kill. But then once we get the thing unloaded, then it's like time to assess the whole thing and figure out what's going to happen.
Are you insured to drive a forklift? I mean, how does that work?
They never asked.
Oh, great.
Not a deal.
Okay.
Here's what they told me. They said don't drive it too far on the city streets because the police get mad. So I won't do that.
Do you want to do it inside, outside? Would you have any preference?
Well, if we did it inside, if you have the space inside, I could pull a pallet in and start working today with electric
Okay,
grinders.
yeah, I think maybe this first bay right here, huh?
Okay.
We'll check that out if you want.
Okay. Well, you know, I was thinking, actually, I pictured putting everything working in the yard, but if we can work indoors, you don't have anything else going on yet?
No, I got some stuff in there. I have just some tools I can move out of the way. Thank you.
Hello. Hey, gentlemen. Got some unique sculptures for you.
That's what I hear.
They are unreal. If you're willing to donate them, I'll take one.
As soon as he gets off the grid, we're going down.
Somebody had a crash course on foods.
You know, I'm thinking we should have left this outside.
Right, you want to?
Yeah, that would work.
Go real far here.
I'm a bummer.
Let's go play with the forklift. Come on. And that, you know, the bubble created by the site, the location, the timing, the funding, the personal interest, people championing it, all of that, you know, the idea of then taking that, if that defines a bubble, and then creating a shape out of it, that was an art conception. But it requires, you know, for me, it very much requires me sanding that surface. You know, when you buy an O'Mealy, you get something that Sean made.
Yeah, basically what's going to happen is the sand it's going to rough the surface a little bit, and it's going to get rid of a lot of the grinder marks and make it uniform for the powder color.
Okay.
Hi Steve, this is Sean. Hey, I was just about to run an errand, but I don't want to run an errand if Mark's about to start spraying that orange. You're taping it, okay. Okay, so half an hour or so? Okay, great. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it sure does. So I'll check in. All right. Thanks, Steve. Bye. Okay. Half an hour. You're still taping. Fuck! You know, I've been ready for powder coat for, you know, on some of these parts, we could have been powder coating them 3 weeks ago. But we were tied up with some mechanical apparatus issue with the sandblaster. Hey. You know what needs to happen? This sculpture needs to happen. That's all. I remember sitting in China waiting in a train station. It was about a room about the size of this one, and there must have been 8,000 people in this train station waiting to get on a train. And I turned to one of the guys I was with, I said, you know what this train station could use? A train. Yeah, it could really use a train now. Big stinking wiggle. No. I'll get a strike. I bet I got a strike one of these times. How can I go with 300 if the Velcro doesn't stick? Okay. I feel funny without my caveman costume on. Now I'm back to waiting on other people, so that has its own sort of grief. Or challenges, I should say. Not always grief, but waiting on other people to get to the point where they can get working on my thing, and you know, so 'cause all sorts of things have to happen after that. So waiting on other people has been really most of this process on the entire sculpture, and just the nature of the beast, really, since I can't physically cast these large pieces myself. I don't have the facilities. And it's more economical to hire other people. So. Okay. All right. Is that it? No. Hey. page. Sculpture page 2. Yep, got 2 pictures in the paper. Page 1, alright. Carving up a masterpiece. What does that mean? Local sculptor's giant work, cast in China, will be installed in downtown Denver. Mark Ernest, the Gazette. Local sculptor is poised to hit the big time. In this case, big means 20 feet tall and over 3 tons. The size of Cowboy Pajamas, which will be installed this month in downtown Denver. Shit, who in the world needs a big Cowboy Pajamas? I mean, you could talk some reason into these people. But then again, it's a great opportunity.
So, well, just tell us who you are and what you're...
I'm John Blythe, and since I've come upon Sean, I don't think I've bought anything else except Sean's things. If Sean is anywhere near as good as I think he is, then he would eventually have you know, a national or even an international reputation, and that becomes a whole different phenomenon that I wouldn't pretend to understand or know. So the essence of what I think is important, I find that Sean in some way has escaped the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune over the last 50 years. The culture hasn't gotten to him. He's been perfectly willing to live in his own set of standards and his own way of seeing things, and he does things to a very high standard that matters mainly to him. You know, the joke is always about making sofa-sized paintings, because that's what people want. They want something they can hang over their sofa. And there's a certain school of art where you can certainly see that they make quote-unquote pretty pictures of a certain size that you immediately recognize as being sofa paintings. It's like going back to the days when kitchens, everything had to be avocado in color. And you think, how did you ever get to the point in our lives when half the people in the United States had avocado colored kitchens? It just seems bizarre, but that's culture.
Everything's a stop or a go. Or everything is a constant or a variable. It's just controlling those things. That's it. That's my philosophy. That's what I figured out. It's a bumper sticker.
out of this facility.
Really nice Cook Road. That
Birthday's coming up. Birthday's coming up.
You know, I give a lot of thought to what it is I'm doing, but you know, sometimes I rub back the paint to expose the wood, and kind of I think I'm interested in revealing what the object is. That it's wood, that it's handmade, that it's you know, it's a deliberate object. Somebody made a deliberate object. Only cost $65, and it's not even painted. But here's this little cute thing. Isn't that something? I have lots of images of art. And let's see. That's not how we do it. Okay. Yeah, that's fun. That's a good movie right there. Okay. And what else do I have in here that you might need to